Welcome to the PFN YouTube channel. My name is Dalton Miller, and you can find me on Twitter at Dalton B. Miller. And today, we're going to be discussing the top 10 most expensive NFL contracts. But first, make sure that you guys are liking this video. Make sure that you guys are subscribing to the channel, and make sure that you guys are hitting that bell so you don't miss any of the content that we have coming your way. And trust me, guys, it is a ton of content coming this off season. But without further ado, let's get into the most expensive NFL contracts. Before we get started, it's important to note that the top 10 highest paid NFL players in 2023 is going to be by cap charge and not by their average annual value. Also, guys like Deshaun Watson, Dak Prescott, Josh Allen, Kirk Cousins, Laramie Tunsil, and Matt Ryan all had scheduled cap charges north of 35 million heading into 2023, but restructures, extensions, and releases have changed the makeup of the NFL's top 10 cap figures this year. At number 10, we have the Kansas City Chiefs defensive tackle, Chris Jones, who will cost the Chiefs $28.292 million in 2023. Now, Chris Jones might not be on this list for much longer. If the Chiefs can work out an extension with Jones as he enters the final year of his contract, they'll be able to reduce his cap by giving him a signing bonus that can prorate over the life of the deal. But as it stands, Jones is ready to collect $19.5 million in base salary and a $500,000 workout bonus. He also has the $7 million in cap charges due to a previous restructure, while $1.25 million worth of incentives will be labeled likely to be earned and count on Kansas City's cap after Jones hits the 10 sack threshold in 2022. At number 9, we have Jake Matthews, the offensive tackle for the Atlanta Falcons, who will cost Atlanta $28.359 million against the cap in 2023. The longest tenured player on the Falcons roster will also have the club's largest cap hit in 2023. Matthews is the most recent member of our list to sign an extension, as he inked a 3-year, $52.5 million deal in March of 2022 that kept him under contract in Atlanta through 2026. He's the 5th highest paid left tackle on an annual basis and will earn a $12.56 million base salary next year, while the rest of his cap charge is comprised of signing, roster option, and restructure bonus money. His 2024 salary became fully guaranteed in March, and the Falcons can't realistically exit this deal until the 2025 offseason. At number 8, we have Cleveland Browns defensive end Myles Garrett, who will cost the Browns $29.176 million against the cap in 2023. Although Myles Garrett signed his 5-year, $125 million extension with the Browns nearly 3 years ago, Cleveland has shown restraint by not restructuring his deal. Garrett will have an average cap charge of $29.3 million over the next 4 seasons, so it might get more difficult for the Browns to hold off. However, as long as the salary cap keeps increasing, Garrett's cap hit will look more and more manageable. In 2023, he'll collect a $17.25 million base, while he'll have nearly $12.5 million in prorated signing and option bonus money on the books. At number 7, we have TJ Watt, outside linebacker for the Pittsburgh Steelers, who will cost them $29.369 million against their 2023 cap. Another AFC North pass rusher comes in at number 7 on the list. TJ Watt is the highest paid rusher in the NFL and the 2nd highest paid defensive player, right behind Rams defensive tackle Aaron Donald. Watt received an $80 million fully guaranteed money when he inked a 4-year, $112 million extension with the Steelers in 2021. Pittsburgh converted $9 million of Watt's 2022 base salary last September, and it's possible they'll use another cost-cutting move before next season begins. Watt has a $20 million base salary in 2023, which is the 3rd highest in the league, so there is plenty of room for the Steelers to work with in his contract. At number 6, DeAndre Hopkins, wide receiver for the Arizona Cardinals, will cost them north of $30 million. In fact, it is $30.75 million against their cap in 2023. Although DeAndre Hopkins was on the trade block heading into the draft, the Cardinals now envision the veteran wide receiver staying in Arizona. If that is the case, Hopkins will present an interesting contract scenario for first-year general manager Monty Ossenfort. Hopkins won't be open to a pay cut, so the only way for the Cardinals to reduce his cap charge is to push money into the future via a restructure. But assuming Hopkins won't be a long-term piece in the desert, Arizona probably doesn't want to increase his cap charge in future seasons. They may just have to ride out the 2023 campaign and hope Hopkins can be moved at the trade deadline. At number 5, we have Detroit Lions quarterback Jared Goff, who will cost the Detroit Lions $30.975 million in 2023. The Lions had the opportunity to select Jared Goff's successor in the 2023 NFL Draft, but Goff might stick around for a few more years after Detroit waited until round 3 to take Tennessee's Hendon Hooker. Lions general manager Brad Holmes said in early May that the club had internal dialogue about extending Goff, who is currently signed through 2024. Detroit only absorbed Goff's base salaries and roster bonuses when they acquired him from the Rams in 2021, but they immediately converted $20 million of his 2021 salary into a signing bonus and prorated it over the life of the contract. As such, his cap charge was around $31 million in 2022 and will remain there through 2023 and 2024, barring a new deal or further restructures. At number 4, we have New York Giants interior defensive lineman Leonard Williams, who will cost the team $32.26 million in 2023. The Giants restructured Leonard Williams' contract last offseason, which only served to increase his 2023 cap charge. No other NFL interior defensive lineman has a cap hit north of $30 million this year. At the NFL Combine, New York general manager Joe Schoen said he planned to speak with Williams' team about lowering his cap figure for the upcoming season. Big Blue could give Williams an extension, but they could also restructure his deal again. Williams has a void year in 2024, so the Giants would be able to move the money into that season. At number 3, we have Tampa Bay Buccaneers, actually retired NFL quarterback Tom Brady, who will cost the Tampa Bay Buccaneers $35.104 million worth of dead money in 2023. Tom Brady won't play or earn any money from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in 2023, but his dead money charge is the 3rd highest cap hit in the entire league. Tampa Bay consistently added void years to the end of Brady's deal. When he retired, all of that money immediately accelerated onto the team's salary cap for this season. The Bucs could have worked with Brady to spread that money out over the next 2 years, but they're planning to absorb the entire total next season. That might be the most significant indication that the Tampa Bay Buccaneers plan to use the 2023 campaign as a rebuilding year. At number 2, Tennessee Titans quarterback Ryan Tannehill will cost the team $36.6 million in 2023. Ryan Tannehill is entering the final year of his contract, and the Titans didn't necessarily have enough success in 2022 to retain a 34-year-old quarterback with the 2nd highest cap charge in the NFL. Still, first-year Tennessee general manager Ron Carthen said at the Combine that Tannehill will be a Titan, and that the club has indicated Tannehill will be their starting quarterback even after they drafted Kentucky's Will Levis in the 2nd round. If Tennessee has a change of heart and cuts Tannehill, it will absorb $18.8 million in dead money while creating $17 million in cap space. The Titans won't be able to use any post-June 1 maneuvers to reduce Tannehill's cap figure because he's entering the final season of his deal. Who is the highest paid player in 2023? Well, that would be the best player in the NFL, Kansas City Chiefs quarterback Patrick Mahomes, who will cost the team $39.693 million against their 2023 salary cap. Once the highest paid player in the NFL in an annual average value standpoint, Patrick Mahomes sits at number 1 among NFL cap hits for 2023. His $39.693 million number is primarily made up of a $22.4 million roster bonus that would have been even more costly had the Chiefs not already reworked Mahomes' deal this offseason. Kansas City converted $12 million of that roster bonus into a signing bonus, clearing $9.6 million from their salary cap. The Chiefs showed restraint by not converting the entirety of Mahomes' roster bonus, which would have created space in the short term but added money over the next 5 seasons. The Chiefs will have to decide how much they want to start kicking the can down the road with Mahomes' contract. They can push money into the future, but that bill will eventually come due. Unless Kansas City keeps moving Mahomes' contract around with restructures, he'll be a perennial name on the list of NFL's largest cap hits. From 2024 to 2031, his cap number is never projected to be below $41.95 million. There you have it, folks. That was the top 10 most expensive cap hits in the 2023 NFL season, with the bonus of the top 10 cash earners in the 2023 NFL season. Who was the most surprising player on either of the lists? Let us know in the comments. And while you guys are here, make sure that you guys are subscribing to the page. Make sure that you guys are smashing the like button on this video, and make sure that you guys are hitting that bell so you guys don't miss out on any of the content that we have coming your way throughout this off season. And trust me, guys, it is going to be a ton of content. In the meantime, I'm Dalton Miller, and I'll see you next time.